Hello, everyone. My name is Randy Lindsay. I'm here with MT4Professional to present a live market scanner for MT4. If you can hear my voice and can see my screen, give me a shout out, and I would greatly appreciate that. Either in the question and answer session or in the scat channel. Great. Thank you, James. Appreciate that. Let's get going. All right. Thanks, Deb. Paul, good to see you, man. All right. First of all, I want to start off and say that MT4Professional and Resilient Traders are not registered investment advisors. We are here as educators, to train and assist you in the proper use of the MT4Professional platform on your computers. So I want you to know that using futures, stocks, cryptocurrencies, Forex, or even commodities has a large potential for reward, but it also has a large potential for risk. So please don't trade with any money that you cannot afford to lose. Past performance is not indicative of future results. So make sure that you get advice from a competent financial advisor before you start trading or executing trades in any of these markets. Let's see here, go to the next screen. As I said before, my name is Randy Lindsay. I'm your trade coach today. Joining me is Claudio Cardinal. He's our product development director and our technology guru. All things technology, Claudio is the man. So what are we going to talk about today? Today is the market scanner. We're going to talk about the market scanner. What is a market scanner? We're going to talk about what MT4Professional is. I'll give you a lengthy live demonstration of the platform with several configurations of your choice. We'll make a very special offer for you today if you're not already using the MT4Professional platform. And of course, I'll always be answering your questions throughout the session. So what is a market scanner? What is MT4Professional? We'll start off with, we're looking at scanning. We're looking at trying to find something in an automated fashion that gives us what we're looking for. So what we're looking for in trading is good trades that meet our criteria. So if we look at the MT4 platform and consider there are 50 different Forex pairs, and that's the minimum, 20 CFDs, there are 9 different time frames. That's more than 630 combinations if you do the math. On MT4, there's even more. I mean, MT5, sorry. Do you really think that you're able to do this manually, to scan through all 630 combinations of pairs to find just the right setup and trade? Most people aren't able to do that, and often you miss trades or opportunities that exist out there somewhere. So trading on different instruments is a must in today's market, because if you trade uncorrelated instruments, that is a great way to remove uncertainty of any of your instruments that you're trading and to diversify your portfolio. So if you're out there looking for uncorrelated trade setups, the perfect solution for that is a market scanner. So what is a market scanner? Well, like I said earlier, it's a tool that automatically scans the market universe focused on symbols or timeframes that meet your custom rules or criteria. So it's not really a signal provider, more than a tool that allows you to analyze and to set up strategies that you use every day using the indicators that you want to use. So a simple example is the cross of 2 moving averages. So the image on the right shows that for every symbol or time frame that we've set up here, the bullish cross would be shown as a green, and a bearish cross would be shown as a red. A bullish cross is when the fast moving average crosses over the slow, and a bearish is when the fast moving average crosses under the slow. That's about as simple as you get. But most people understand that. So looking at a 15 period and a 30 period moving average, we can see very quickly that if a scanner was running this strategy, we could see, based upon multiple time frames and multiple instruments, very quickly which ones are set up to be bullish or bearish, or maybe not even a good trade setup at all. Okay, so you can see the euro yen is green across the board. You can see that the Canadian and Swiss dollars are both red across the board. So that gives you some insight into potential trade setups that maybe I shouldn't be wasting my time on the ones that aren't aligned, and maybe I should be spending more time on the ones that are. So what about multiple time frames? Well, did you know that if you use multiple time frames in your trading, you have a higher probability of a profitable trade? Well, this is due to correlation, and it's just one of the advantages of using multiple time frame technical analysis. So by checking multiple time frames before you initiate a trade, your trades will be in harmony with a longer time frame, and the result is higher probability trades, lower risk trades. Looking at the chart on the side, you can see the longer term trend has much longer and smoother cycles before the corrections occur, while the shorter time frames have multiple corrections within that same longer term trend. And even on a 15-minute, you can see it's got a lot of noise with regards to it, even relative to the 1 hour. So looking at and taking these trades, if you were to take the trade in the direction or in agreement with the longer term trend, you do stand a higher chance of being in these trades for longer without getting out and in and out and having to be chopped up by all the noise that's here. If you do happen to take a trade that goes against the longer term trend, like one of these corrections, then make sure that you keep your profit targets short. That's the whole idea behind it. So you're making better rules and better decisions because you're understanding the application and use of multiple timeframes. So if you had a market scanner that not only could search for setups that meet your criteria, that go through and scour the universe for the setups that you want, but also can verify those setups on multiple timeframes, that would be an extremely valuable tool, don't you think? But the problem was on MT4 or MT5, there wasn't a professional scanner that met our criteria. As professional traders, we knew exactly what we were looking for. We had strategies already in play, but we didn't find anything that we could plug in to give us a solution or to find a trade setup that we were looking for. So what we did find was something that was too complex to configure, which meant you had to be a programmer in order to even use it. They were either unstable or single tools that really didn't integrate well with the entire system. They were incompatible with even the simplest indicators that were available. And there were lots of other issues that we ran into. And so our solution to this was to develop MT4 Professional. Right now, the MT4 Professional Scanner is the #1 scanner on both MT4 and MT5. All right. It's a tool that allows you to instantly scan the entire market for setups that match your criteria and rules. When you find a good setup, MT4 Professional allows you to enhance your training and your analysis with multiple time frame analysis, which really isn't that easy to do on either MT4 or MT5. So stay tuned. We're going to learn a lot more about this as we progress on. But right now, we're going to run a quick poll to find out what part of a market scanner can best benefit you. How can a market scanner be of best benefit to you? Would it be less risk in missing trades, less time wasted searching for setups, a better chance of finding high probability trades, or you just really don't know? So select an answer and submit the poll. And once we get a certain number of people responding, then we'll close it down and show you the results. Come on. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, yeah, there you go. Better chance of finding high probability trades is 62% of those polled and responded. 15% don't want to be wasting their time looking for things. I hear that. And not so many want to worry about missing the trades, but a few don't know what even is best. So I understand that for sure. So that's why we developed the scanner itself. So let's get right into the demonstration here. Pull my platform up and show it. There we go. So I currently have MT4Professional set up and running on my MT4 platform. You can see over here on the left, I've got the control panel, which shows my symbol list and my scanner panel. You can see I have my settings and a little picture icon to take screenshots if I need to, and a configuration button to set up the way things appear. I currently have 3 different charts, a 15-minute, a 30-minute, and an hourly chart set up on my screen. My 15-minute is the larger of the two because I want to spend more time on it. And on the chart, you can see I have a 15-period exponential moving average. And so this strategy and this configuration is looking at price. You can see the price bars are shown by the candles here relative to the exponential moving average. If the price is greater than the EMA, then I told the scanner to display the cell as green. And you can see since there are 3 different time frames, it does the exact same thing on all 3 time frames. So you can see very quickly the euro US dollar is bullish across all 3 time frames, 15, 30, and hourly. You can see that I'm very close on the hourly, but the price is still greater than the EMA, so I'm still in a bullish setup. If I were to single click on the dollar Canadian, for example, then you can see how quickly it changed over to the dollar Canadian on my charts. You can see it's red across the board. So prices below the EMA, prices below the EMA here, prices below the EMA. So like you can see very quickly the analysis and the information that you get from the charts and the utility of a scanner, which is doing all of this legwork for you. All you have to do is look over here and find out which ones are aligned and set up. The New Zealand yen is green relative to a longer term downtrend. That means it probably cycled out and might be getting ready to cycle back into a short continuation move. So if we were to look at that, you can see that price did come up to the exponential moving average and it might roll over. You can see it looks more like a good plateau or a resistance area and start continuing down in the longer term trend direction. So you can see that is a good trade setup to consider looking for potential longs. Euro pound is just the opposite. It's a setup with a longer term setup, and it's just rolling over on the shorter term. Will it continue, come back green? Once it continues back green, will it continue back long? Or is this the start of a new continuation of a downward move? So those are the analysis and the ability to take the information that you have at hand and use it to your advantage. Notice that the crosshair moves on all 3 of the charts. So that gives me very accurate time and price analysis on all 3 time frames. So I can determine where either long-term or short-term support and resistance are and very quickly see where that aligns across all of my time frames. So if price does come down to this level, chances are pretty good that it's going to bounce back up and continue long once it gets here. So that's the nice feature that MT4Professional gives you: single click integration, multiple time frame technical analysis, just to name a few. So let's go and quickly look at the configuration I use in order to get these cells to change color based upon this strategy. Clicking the configuration button gives you a list of all the different configurations that are available. These are all the ones I've created. The ones that come with the software are these right here. You can see there are 12, 14 different configurations that are included with your subscription. And there's also an inbox so that if you want to send or receive configurations from other people, then you can use it just like email, but where we've set it up for a configuration inbox. So if you have a configuration you really like and you want to share with somebody else to get them on the same page with you, you can send that to them very quickly. So let's go back to my setups and configuration. I'm currently on EMA and price. Let me edit that and show you what I'm looking at. Over on the right, you can see the configuration panel for the charts. And over on the left is the configuration panel for the scanner and the symbol list. Let's start off with the charts. On the charts, you can see I have 3 different chart setups. One is larger, the other 2 are smaller. You can see that's the exact same setup that I have back here on my charts. The 15-minute is the larger one, and of course, I can change that time frame to any time frame I want because it's just simple pull-down menus. I also have a template that I have selected that shows the appearance and the setup that I desire to have on the charts. Of course, if I want to change that template, I could change it to any other template that I have currently available on my MT4 platform. So any of these templates integrate and can be loaded into the configurator so that it will display like this every single time you put it up. And then for each other time frame that you have up, you can put any or other templates on that you want. Over on the scanner panel, on the left-hand side, you can set up your symbol list. The right-hand side is the current symbol list that's displayed. And the left-hand side is a list of all of the symbols that are currently available on your MT4 or MT5 platform. If you already have a configuration that has a symbol list that you like, you can just simply click that and then select the configuration that you want to use and then select yes, and it will automatically port in the symbol list from that configuration. Once you're done and you like everything, then just click the OK button. And then you can go over to the scanner panel. The scanner panel goes through and performs operations or rules which are based upon your strategy in order to change the color of the cell. We call those color rules. So the main color rule or the color rules that you would use can be defined within this area. Each one of these boxes that you see, and I'll make this a little bit larger screen, I have 3 different ones because I have one for each time frame, can be set up with time frame, color rule, and I only have one selected here and one available. And the indicator to show is just simply the data that's output by your indicator. So like for example, your relative strength indicator, if you want to see the actual value of the relative strength, then if you put that here, then it will display on the scanner window in the little square that's listed there. So let me cancel out of this and move it so you can see that there. That's a little bit better. See, so that way, each one of these cells can have the actual value of the relative strength printed in there, if you so choose. Let me go back to my configuration. So now let's go in and look at the rules. The main color rule is what I have set up now. You can see I can turn it on or off with the tick mark here, and then I can edit it by clicking the little pencil pad. You can see that on the first condition, I've chosen the green color, which is bullish. You can see each of the green cells that are here and the red cells. This was the red condition. The green condition will be true if price is greater than the 15-period exponential moving average. You select the price from the pull-down menu, but these are just ones that I've pre-configured. So if you have something here that you want to add, like a relative strength, then you can click the plus sign, choose from any indicator on your MT4 or MT5 platform, find the one that you're most interested in and click use this indicator. If you don't have or don't want to use one of the standard indicators, then we have a button down here called pick from your computer, which allows you to use any custom or specialty indicator that you have either developed yourself or that you have purchased from someone else. So you can use any of these on that. So let's go ahead and use this indicator. You can set it up like you do any other settings. You set the period, set the price that you're using. This one is applied to the close of price. It's a 14 period relative strength. And the shift value gives you the ability to look back in time. So currently a shift 1 means it's the currently closed bar. A 2 would be looking back 1, a 3 would be looking back 2, and so forth. So you can look forward and back in time using the shift indicator. So by clicking OK, then you can see the RSI now became my comparing item A. So I'm looking to see if the RSI is greater than my EMA 15. That doesn't make any sense. So I really don't want to have that one in there. I want to have it like an RSI greater than 30 or an RSI less than 70 or something like that, where I'm looking for values to get out of an oversold or an overbought condition. So I'm going to put this back to price, and then I'm going to click plus. Then I'll pull up my relative strength. I want to see if my relative strength is less than a constant value 30. Okay, if the relative strength is less than 30, it means it's way oversold, and price is greater than, well, that's not really the right condition. So I really want to see if it's greater than 70 then. So I'm going to have to put in another number, 70. But notice that the other numbers that I'd put in are still there. And so they're still going to be available to me to use anytime that I want to. And then once I have it loaded on one, then I can load it on the other one just as easily. So notice I can have my RSI, and I can have to see if it's greater than, no, I want it to be less than 30. So if price is less than the EMA and the RSI is under 30, that's extremely weak. And if price is greater than the 15 and the RSI is greater than 70, that's very strong. I could even do other comparisons. If I wanted to see if the slope of the relative strength was positive or negative, then I can do that just by simply using the shift variable I told you about earlier. So you don't really have any limitations on that. I'm not really interested in the relative strength for this strategy, so I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to remove that because I'm perfectly happy with price being greater than the 15 or less than to give me my color conditions. If neither one of these conditions are true, then by default, it will turn itself yellow. That's my main color rule. And I define that main color rule on multiple time frames. And if I want to add a different time frame here, then all I have to do is just click on it, change the time frame, and then make sure I select the color rule, and I'm done. Now I have 4 time frames that I can do and analyze. And if maybe I don't want to have all 4 anymore, then I'll have to just click the X and it's gone, and you're right back to 3 again. If you want to be notified of any changes on your strategy, then simply click the real-time notifications icon box right here, and then click in to verify your phone number, and it will automatically send SMS message to your phone letting you know the conditions for your strategy have changed or have been met. Now, if you don't set up your phone, that's fine. You'll still get notified through the MT4 system of any trade setups or signals that you've generated from your scanner. And the size is a drop-down menu that allows you to vary or change the physical size of this window right here. So the width of the window can vary based upon how many multiple time frames that you're using. So if you have like 5 or 6 time frames you're using, you want this window to be a little bit wider. Or if you're using multiple indicators, so that instead of just the box being a single color, you can have multiple colors within a single time frame box. So you're not really limited on how complex or how simple that you want to make your strategy. Okay, once you're done, click the Save button. There'll be a little check mark on the Save box to let you know that it has been saved. Make sure you give your configuration a name and give it some sort of a description so that you know exactly what it is that you're dealing with, or to help you remember what it is that you did when you have a whole list of them that are there. And then simply close the box. Anytime you have changed your configuration at all, you have to reload it by clicking the Load button right here on the chart. When you reload it, it goes through and starts recalculating all of the rules based upon the current changes or updates that you've placed within it. All right, that's about as simple as it gets. A lot of people are using this simple strategy, which comes with your MT4 subscription, to actually make live trades, and they're doing actually really well on a lot of their trades. So this is one way that you can actually get started very quickly using this setup. Now let's look at a little bit more complex setup. My MACD. I'm going to load this one and show you what I'm looking at. I have 3 different time frames. This is a 4-hour, a daily, and a weekly. You can see from the charts here that I'm using the exponential moving average. I'm also using a MACD, which the MACD histogram is the base indicator, and the red line that's on it is the signal line. And you can see I have a relative strength that's here with a 30 and a 70 line on to help me to make my trade decisions. So when I see a sell signal come in, when the histogram crosses under the red signal line, I know I want to, at that point, take a sell. And if the price is less than the exponential moving average, 15 period, then that gives me a double confirmation that I want to take this as a short trade. To exit the trade, I can do one of 2 things. I can either wait for the cross above and get a new buy signal when the EMA is greater than the, when price is greater than the EMA, or when the histogram crosses above my signal line, or I can use my relative strength value. So when relative strength gets down under 30, that's a profit take opportunity. So I can take profit here, or I can wait and take profit here and then start setting up for a potential reversal trade. So those are your strategies. And am I going to be limited in any way? Not at all. So let's look at the configuration just to see how we have this set up. You can see from the charts that I have 3 charts set up again for daily, weekly, and I'm using the EMA MACD template to display this setup just the way that you see it right now. Let me go in and check out the scanner, because that's where the meat of the signal is. I have a strong signal indication here with a single color rule. So let's see what that color rule is. The color rule has 3 components. Number 1, I'm checking the MACD, and the MACD base indicator line has to be less than this one, which is the MACD signal. So if that indicator crosses under the signal line, which just means it's less than, that means it's a bearish condition. But I also, I want to see if the close of price is less than the EMA 15. And I want to see if the relative strength, which is a 14 period based upon the close of price, 2 bars back, is greater than the current relative strength. So that means it's sloping down. So if 2 bars back, the relative strength value is greater than my current relative strength, the relative strength is sloping down and I'm in a bearish condition. So all 3 of these are met, it will change this color of the cell red. If any of these are not true, then it will change the color of the cell to yellow. Or, so if this condition is not true, it's going to check to see if it's a bullish condition. If the bullish condition isn't true, and if the bearish condition isn't true, it will change the color to yellow. Any questions so far? You can see this gets a little bit more complicated, but it still gives you a straight, direct answer to your question. 3 different time frames, or 2 in this case. I'm looking at 2 conditions on multiple time frames, 4-hour, daily, and weekly setups, looking using that same strong signal. So what the chart is showing me then is that the dollar Canadian is neutral, but on the daily is bearish. You can see I've got bullishness and bearishness on several setups. The Euro New Zealand, let me click on it and show you this. Currently the 4-hour is neutral, but the longer term is very bearish. So looking at the longer term setups, then you can see that this is a good setup for a potential break and continuation. Right now, this is not set up the way it was, because it's less than the RSI, but the histogram is greater than the signal line. So it's neutral. So it's not like the other ones. In this case, we're looking for below, that's bearish, below, that's bearish, below, that's bearish, below, that's bearish. So you've got a bear, and a neutral setup. Once this goes back into a bearish configuration, then you can see it will align properly. The other one that we're looking at, was that the euro? Yeah, the pound New Zealand is the same way. Yeah, see, this is a bullish setup, but that's a bearish setup. But the other two on the setups here are very clearly bearish, 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 and this is bearish, but this is bullish. So if this turns around and comes back in line with these longer term trends, then that could be a good continuation for a continued move down. And likewise, the Canadian, it's looking bullish. So you're looking for that as a potential setup. Okay, and it's just a matter of waiting. So instead of just sitting there at your computer waiting all the time, you can just take your mobile device with you and check it out from there. And when I say that, what I'm talking about is if you were to go to any mobile device, and this is a browser, so if you're using your tablet or your phone, you log into MT4Professional's members area. And then from the members area, there's a menu that's called the RealTime Scanner. The RealTime Scanner is a great tool so that if you're not sitting back behind your main computer, which is back here, it's sitting there running at home. You need to go out and have lunch or go out and do something with your friends. You don't want to be sitting in front of your computer all the time. So all you have to do is just select the account that you're currently running on, and currently, instantly on your laptop or your mobile device, you get an exact replica of the scanner window that's running on your desktop. You can see the scanner window update in real time if you get any changes. And if you click on any symbol here on your mobile device, now notice we're on the pound New Zealand. If I were to click the euro US dollar, then it will automatically change to the euro US dollar on my platform. It'll take a snapshot and it will show you the current setting, the current setup for that trade. So if this is the one that you're interested in, then you can see exactly what it looks like. And if it's the trade setup that you were looking for, you can actually just log in with your mobile device to your broker and execute the trade right then. So you don't have to miss these trade setups. MT4Professional goes with you wherever you are. It doesn't physically run on your mobile device. It has to run on a PC, but it does give you the ability to take it with you and update it anytime that you want to by clicking and identifying these setups, Euro Aussie, and then give me a Euro Aussie snapshot right here on my mobile device. So it's just that simple. Any of the configurations that you have taken pictures of, or if you're making any screenshots at all, you can share any of those right here in the snapshots area of your membership site. So just go to the snapshot section and you can see there are tags where you have identified all of your charts and tagged them with specific names, and you can make them either global, you can make them publicly available to anybody, or you can lock them up and make them private only to be to the people that you share it with. So any of the charts that you currently are using that you have setups on, then you can save them. You can have a link to share them either publicly or privately. And if you see, these are all set up as private, but some of these are going to be public, like this one. And so it gives you the ability to post them on any of your social feeds, or you still have the link to post that into any chat box that you might be working on. So everything is there and available for you. Just like on any page of the MT4Professional site, you can see the download button for the most recent full version of MT4Professional or MT5 are available for you right there. And controlling and referring your account licenses or your settings can be done from the gearbox in the upper right-hand corner. If you go down to your settings page, then you can set up your details about you yourself, your profile, or your credit card that you're using for your subscription, and everything can be used here, including canceling your subscription if you need to. It includes a link to a full documentation, or you can click on the main welcome page here and visit the documentation and help center here. It's a single click, then you can go in and go right to the solutions section of the knowledge base. And this way you get direct answers to the majority of all of the questions that you might need on setting up the scanners, the rules, the workspaces, the charts, your subscriptions, and so forth. So everything is here in the knowledge base for you to have access to when you have your MT4 subscription going. Okay, and last but not least, you have full access to custom indicators. So if you have any custom configurations or any indicators that you happen to be using, I happen to have one right here already set up, then you can load those on your chart and use them on your MT4Professional platform. Here I've got my Hawkeye tools set up and running. These are tools that help me to see volume and price interactions together. So when I see setup giving me a key reversal, then I know that I'm getting ready for a potential long move. I can also see from the scanner that I have multiple indications coming up in each time frame. Notice I have 3 different signals that I've got generated on my 5-minute chart. I've got 2 on a 15-minute, and I've got 1 on a 30-minute. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at the analysis from multiple time frames all on my scanner, and it's giving me a very accurate representation of what I'm looking at. So let's look at the configuration just to see how something that complex can be made simple. So you can see there's all these multiple colors, and I have all these indicators here, but if you pull this menu down, you can see I have 3 different color rule sets that are working, and they're all turned on for this one. I want to see that my trend indication is a certain condition. I want to see that volume is a certain condition, and I want to see that the momentum or the heat map is a certain condition. So if I were to edit that, then this is the rule. I want to see if the Hawkeye trend indicator with these settings is greater than 0. Anytime that indicator becomes greater than 0, I know that I have a bullish condition, because I'm looking at the trend indicator element 1. So this is line 1 of my trend output. Notice that I have 2 other ones here. I have line 2 and I have line 3. So each one of these show me different trends. The line 1 is the bullish trend, line 2 is the bearish trend, and line 3 is a neutral trend or congestion. And so I have access to all 3 of those from the output of the indicator. So if that's greater than, if number 1 is greater than 0, I know I'm bullish. Otherwise, I'm checking to see if number 2, here you can see number 2 right here, all the other conditions are the same. If number 2 is greater than 0, I know that it's bearish. And I've got a third condition here, which is number 3. If number 3, neutral, is greater than 0, it's going to be displayed as white. So I've got 3 conditions, green, red, or white. If none of these are true, it will display as a yellow cell. Okay. Now notice that was just the trend indication. I'm looking also at the volume indicator. Now the volume indicator is exactly the same as the trend. If the volume is greater than 1, then it's positive. If it's less than 1, then it's negative. So the positive volume is green, negative volume is red, and a neutral volume, 0. So if I'm looking for either positive or negative volume, then I'm looking for those conditions. And the same thing for my heat map. The heat map has 4 different colors: a bright red, a dark red, a bright green, and dark green. So I'm checking for all 4 color on my heat map to see if that's true. Now, if by checking these all 3 on, then the scanner will look for all three conditions. If they're all three true on the 5-minute time frame, then it will give me a cell color that identifies those trends on all three. But notice on my 15-minute time frame, I'm only looking at 2 of the 3. So notice I turn the trend off. I don't care about the trend. I only want to see if the volume or the momentum are going strong. And on the 30-minute time frame, notice I am only using the volume indicator. It's the only one that's turned on. Because that's my strategy. That's what I'm looking for. I want to see trend, volume, and momentum on the fastest time frame aligned. I want to see the volume in the heat map agree with the alignment in the 5-minute, and I want to see the alignment in the 30-minute to be in line with those. So when those become aligned, I know that I have a high probability, low risk trade setup. So you can see the setups here. The Euro US dollar 5-minute has all aligned green. I have a dark green heat map, and I have a green volume on my longer term. This is a great setup for a potential long. And so if I'm looking at my charts and looking at these settings that are there, you can see I do have a potential long setup here. I have green trend, volume, and heat map. I have signals on both time frames that align to show me that I've got a potential long setup right here on this. Now, today's a holiday, not a good time of day or a good setup to trade, but this is the setup that I would be looking for a potential long trade. Same thing with the pound yen. Everything on it looks good for a potential long trade setup because I have everything is good and I have a dark momentum. So everything here is also setting up to be aligned for a nice long trade. 5, 15, and 30. All right. Sam wants to know, can I use any of my custom indicators and templates? Absolutely. Let me show you how I used this custom indicator. Click the edit button, click my scanner configuration. And what I showed you before, let me just click the trend. If you want to use any other indicator, then click the plus sign, choose an indicator, and then pick the indicator from your computer. And then you can go down and select any of the indicators that are on your MT4 or MT5 platform. Select the indicator that you're interested in using. Just pick one here. And then you can set that up based upon the current parameters that you're using, or just leave this box checked and it'll use all the default settings that are on your indicator. But if you have to modify your indicator in any way, then that's what these parameters are. These parameters show you the first 10 parameters that are available to you on your indicator. Now, the line to use is probably the most important part. This is the output of your indicator. This gives you the ability to look at 8 different outputs from the indicator itself. So let me go and show you the indicators themselves. So if you were to go and find the indicators that are on this list and edit that indicator, then you can see that this indicator only has 2 parameters, 1 and 2. So only the first 2 parameters would be used. And they're both just non-numeric. So basically you're turning them on and off, or it's true or false. So these can remain as default values unless you want to change these and update it itself. Okay. But let me go ahead and show you this. Close this down. Let's look at our data window. So with the data window open, and if I scroll my mouse over, you can see that the values of the indicators are shown on your data box. So if you have an output line, multiple outputs for a single indicator, then they will show here. So this Hawkeye trend indicator has 3 outputs: line 1, line 2, and line 3. So when I'm using the trend indicator, I want to pull the indicator output If I'm looking for a bullish indication, which is right here, you can see that when this is green, then you can see the first line on that trend indicator is greater than 0. Now notice the third one. When I roll over the white one, notice the third one came on. See that? The third line now is a value. It's greater than 0. The value happens to be the current price, but I don't really care what that is. I just want to see if it's greater than the blank 0 that's set up as a null. So once that turns on, that tells me that this is now in a neutral trend. When it's red, you can see the second one. So that's all I'm looking for. I'm looking for the line output of the indicator. So when you use it for your indicator, that's all you're looking for, is the output line number. So this one for bullish, I'm looking for line 1, line 2 for the bearish, and line 3 for a neutral or congestion area. Simple. Your outputs will be exactly the same. So use your data window to determine which line output you're looking for, and then use that on your scanner to set it up properly. And of course, if you do need any help in setting these up, we are here to help you and to get you going on that. And we have a very active Skype users group. So if you want to be involved in that also and chat with other MT4 professional users, you can do that as well anytime that you want to in the Skype chat group. And any templates can be used, as I said before. So if you go and find a different template that you're using, you can load that template and use that specifically for your chart. Or if you don't like the way it's set up and you can go do a different template, well, all you have to do is just simply click on any symbol and it'll automatically set it back to the template that you have in the configuration. So gone are the days of missing out or losing on things. Now notice that if I hit the F11 button that I can go full screen. Notice that automatically the chart sizes are rescaled to fill up my entire window. And if I hit F11 again, then the window changes back to the normal and it doesn't clip anything. They automatically revert back to the normal size. If you know MT4 or MT5 at all, then you know that this is a pain to adjust, especially if you have multiple size windows and things going on. Let me show you a real quick example here. If I were to go over to one of my other configurations that are set up, and this is a separate profile, then this is not the MT4 Professional platform. Notice that the crosshairs on the screens don't align with each other. I have to physically align them myself, look at the time, and then go over on this one, look at the same time to see if that setup matches this chart or this chart. Also notice if I'm having multiple windows that are different sizes and I try to go into full screen mode, notice, look at all this wasted space I have. I have to physically drag each window to the correct size in order to use it, okay? Also, if I want to change the symbol on any of these charts, then I have to go over here and drag and drop the symbol onto each one of these charts individually if I want to change or update the symbol on those. And if I change the template or any of the settings on this chart, it's automatically saved, which means I've lost any pre-configurations that I had. So the beauty of MT4 Professional is that all of your settings are saved in the cloud. So you can configure it, move it around, change it around to your heart's content, and always get back to your original setting. That's what's so nice about it. So let me go back to the MT4 Professional profile. Let me load back the configuration that I was starting with here. And we'll see right back to where I started from. That simple, that easy. Single click integration, one click. Notice my crosshairs can go across any of the charts and they perfectly align and I have full access to all the charts. So really, really nice. So going under the configuration, if I were to edit this, notice here in the right bottom corner, there is a share icon that gives you the ability to share any of these setups or configurations with anybody else in the classroom. So if I were to load my Hawkeye configuration here, and I just happen to know there's someone else in the audience has Hawkeye tools running and I want to share it with them, then all I have to do is select that configuration, click the share button, type in the email or the name of the person that I want to share it with, and click the share button. All you have to do is say yes, and it automatically shares the configuration with the person that you wanted to share that with. All right, so it's that easy. Now, the person that you just shared it with will now go to their configuration panel. That's this one right here. Scroll to the very bottom and look under the received inbox. So Deb, you should find a configuration from me called Hawkeye 51530 with 2 roadkills in your inbox. And once you click and load it onto your platform, then it'll be the exact same setup and configuration that I have here, including all of the scanner setups and rules. Just like that, that easy. You're welcome, Deb. I thought you already had it before, but so this way we're on the same page at the same time and everybody is looking good. So that's the nice thing about that. So moving on, I want to get to our presentation and I want to open up an offer for you. So let me get back to my setups here. Before we get to the offer, I want to launch another poll real quick. As I can see, I'm quickly running out of time, particularly long-winded today. But I want to find out from the live demonstration, what benefit that MT4Professional has for you, okay? So of all the things that you saw, did you like the single click integration of the charts the best? Did you like the scanner, of course? My rules, my way. Was it the traders network, the ability to share configurations with other traders? Is it that it's mobile, that you can share it and take it with you anywhere, anytime, and you're not locked down to your platform? That it gives you detailed multiple time frame technical analysis, which really is difficult to do on any of these platforms. Versus the ease of use and setup. Well, of course, you want us to click all of them, but you can only select one. So find the best one that you like of those and let me know which one of the applications that you like, the features that you like best of MT4Professional. Once I started using MT4Professional, things like the single click integration and the charts, being able to use my entire screen, being able to set up multiple instances so I have a different MT4 on different charts and chart windows. It's completely changed my trading. It just makes it easy. When I go back to regular MT4, it just makes me feel like I'm in the Stone Ages. All right, well, multiple time frame technical analysis is a really good feature, and it's nice to see that a lot of people can see the utility and the value of that. That's great. The scanner, of course, my rules, my way. The fact that it's mobile or how easy it is to set up and use. Yeah, I'd like to be able to click all of them too as well, but let's go ahead and close this and go to the next poll. I think there's one more poll here. Yep, there it is. Are you currently using MT4Professional? So if you are, then click yes, and I love it. If you're not, then no, I haven't had time to try it yet, or you want to know more. You're not sure if you really need it or not, or you're just not really interested at the moment. Let me know how you feel, if the inputs can be there. Ernst wants to know if there's a back testing. Of course, you can always back test it, but it's not built into the software. You can all back test any of the settings that are there and look at the outputs, but there's no way of capturing any results. So no, there's no back testing built into the software. And he also wants to know if there's a German-speaking user group. Not to my knowledge, there's not, but you can always start one. Skype is a really nice presentation platform, so you can set up from the main group. You can see if anyone else is speaking German and set up your own user group and go for it that way. That would be awesome. So looks like 60% of the class don't currently use it, but they want to know more. 20% are currently using it and love it, and 20% haven't even had the time to do it yet. So let's go ahead and get into a special offer. That way you can get your own copy of MT4 Professional absolutely free. So let me get going on to that. Right now, everything I've shown you today, the full featured MT4 or MT5 platform, exclusive Skype community access, unlimited configurations and storage in the cloud, up to 100 per month SMS notifications are included, pre-configured presets all set up and ready for you to start using. Total value is about $22.95. Of course, you're not going to be paying that. For a limited time, we've made it available for $194 per month, but you're not going to pay that either. 50% of that, $97 a month. That's what you'll be paying right now. You'll also get a free trial, 14 days for free trial, absolutely, to use the full featured MT4 or MT5 platform. Click the link, mt4professional.com/trial. The link is listed in the chat box there. It's easy to click on. Again, it's $97 a month. It's a 14-day risk-free trial. At the if you cancel any time before the 14 days are over, you won't be charged a penny on your credit card, and you'll still have full access to the trial up till the 14th day. If you do not cancel by the end of the 14th day, then you will be charged $97 per month. So make sure, if you're not interested, to cancel before the trial is over. If you do have any questions or comments, you can always contact us at support@mt4professional.com, and we'll be getting right back to you within 24 hours with a satisfactory answer. If we cannot, we'll let you know, and we'll make sure that we research it to make sure that we give you an answer that you particularly like. So support@mt4professional.com. Let me go back to the link there so you can get started. And the last few minutes, I'll pull back to my platform and I'll move it around so that you can still see the link on the screen to get started with your own trial. And actually, that's 2 full weeks of the full version. You get everything that you see here on the screen right here under the configurations. No, I don't want that. I just want to select one. So the presets are the ones that you get full access to. So any of these configurations, you'll get full access to. The ones that I'm showing here on the screen are based upon indicators that I own. You probably don't own. If you use ones that are based upon the standard indicators, that's what all of these presets are based upon. Art wants to know what preloaded configurations come with it. And these are the ones I was just showing you. The alligator, there's a default color example. There's the EMA and price I showed you earlier. The MACD and signal, which is an strategy that looks at MACD and signal lines for using and comparing trade values. This one shows you the indicator value. So it's looking at the RSI and showing you what the output of the RSI is. So here you can see the output of the RSI is displayed on the scanner window itself. All right, the alligator, of course, everyone knows what the alligator is. It's 3 moving averages looking at a bullish or bearish configuration. Based upon the location of the lips relative to the jaw and the teeth. So you can set this, I have it set up on 2 time frames, but you can set it up on 3 or multiple time frames if you like to. So that's a great way for you to follow the Williams type indications that are there. Other presets include shift. So this way it gives you an ability to look at current price or historical price relative to current price and do multiple calculations with that and so forth. So you can see SMA and cross, RSI reversals, multiple same time frame column setups. So you can see there's a lot of good examples that are available for you. And you can use any of these as a preset to create your own. So by clicking this button right here, you can click any of the presets that are available to you and use it as a pre-configured setting, and it will copy that. And then all you have to do is just change it slightly and you have a full working version of the configuration here. I'm not going to save that. I'll just go ahead and close it. So are there any other questions with regards to getting started or getting going with your new subscription? Any results or stats? Don't have any specifically to show because MT4Professional is not a signal generator. It is a platform. So you're basically like asking, are there any results or stats from MT4? Well, you don't know because the individual trader has to load their indicators and their strategies and get it up and running, and then they have to trade it. That's where you'll get all the results or the stats. So your answer to your question really isn't an answer. I can't give you an answer because there's really not one. We don't give out signals. We don't give out indicators. We give out a platform that you can use with your signals, your strategies, and indicators to perform those types of stats. So Ernst, when you get any results or stats, let me know, and I'll be glad to publish it and let everybody else know as well. Is there a record of this session on YouTube? It has been recorded, and we'll send you an email when it's available, and it is posted, and most of them are posted on our YouTube channel. Yes. Anything else I can show you, or any other configuration you want me to zoom through? You want to see the New Zealand US dollar for this configuration? Okay. The New Zealand US dollar, there it is right there, is currently red and green. Let's see what the setup is. On the hourly, you can see that the hourly chart is currently bearish because you can see that the lips are underneath both the jaw and the teeth. But you can see here that the lips are greater than the jaw and the teeth. So you can see this is a bullish, still in a bullish configuration, but the first time frame is a bearish setup. So this is looking like it's breaking over and has the potential for a trend reversal. But if this fails and starts to reverse back up again, then all this is just a simple correction in the longer term trend. And so this is acting as support and can continue to bounce off and continue along. So if you're to see this start to roll over and the green line starting to cross under these, that is a clear trend change, just like you saw right back here. See right here, when you can see that green line cross under, that was a clear indication of a potential reversal. And on the hourly chart at this exact same price and time, by clicking it, I lock it in place, then you can see at the exact same point that the signal to go short was given back here, right about this line. Let me turn this off so it doesn't automatically go forward. So at this point right here was the original signal. And so you can see at that point, it was still in a bullish mode. So either you could wait for it to go bearish, and that didn't occur until right about here. Well, if you waited until the second time frame went bearish, then you would have gotten in a little bit late on that move. You wouldn't have missed it, but you would have gotten in just a little bit late on the breakout. All right, is there anything else I can do for you today before we head out? Would you scan for that? How would you scan for that? Yeah, so basically it's currently already scanning for it. Because if you were to look at the configuration of the scan itself, and this is the alligator, so let me pull up the, let me see if I have an alligator set up. There it is. So if you were to look at this signal setup, then the signal is set up such that alligator 3, which is the green line, alligator line output 3, is greater than 2 and alligator 3 is greater than 1. So basically it's saying if the lips are less than the jaw and if the lips are less than the teeth, then you're in a bullish setup. I say less than, that's greater than. Sorry about that. So if the green line crosses above the red and the blue, then that's a bullish setup. If the green line crosses below both, that's a bearish setup. And that's how you scan for it. This will change red or green. And if it does change from a red to a green and you have this box checked, then it will give you notifications based upon your MT4 platform, or it'll send you an SMS message on your phone to let you know that occurred. Absolutely. Yeah, there are lots of possibilities. You don't have to be limited just by these indicator sets or these scans. You can use any of the scans that you want. Can you run the MT4 back test to evaluate a particular setup? Yes, you can. You're not limited in any way to use the platform. The platform is just a professional version giving you features that aren't available on the normal MT4 or MT5. So it's basically, it's the same MT4 platform. You can still drag and drop symbols over and do everything the same way that you used to do. You can load templates, you can do anything that you like that you're used to, but it's set up such that it remembers everything the way it should be. You're right back to your alligator. So you've got a lot of what if scenarios that you can actually play through. You can pull up your control panel, you do the back testing. If you have EAs that are running, then you can do the back test and run your EAs on the platform itself and not interfere with whatever you've got MT4 doing at the moment. So absolutely. Not a problem at all. This is the one you're referring to, right? The strategy tester, the back tester. Yeah. You can set it back to any time frame that you want to and run the back test results for whatever the EA that you got running. And you can integrate it fully with the system. You can limit the number of symbol pairs. You only trade 6 to 8, absolutely. By clicking on the configuration. Okay, let's load that one right there. Then if you click edit, then you can go up to your symbol list. And I currently have all these symbols, but if you can clear them all. If you only have like 1 or 2 that you're particularly using, you can hold the control key down and select just the ones that you're interested in. Or say, for example, you only want to trade euro pairs, then this lists all of the euros, and so you can just go through and selectively pick just the euro pairs that you are interested in. Click the right arrow button. That creates a new list, and then now that's the list that you can use up to that point. If you don't like any of those, you can just selectively remove the one that you don't want. Go back to the original list by removing the filter and adding the particular one that you wanted to add to the list. Very, very easy to use and simple. And if you have a configuration, a list set up from another configuration, then you can just start from any other configuration and use the list from that one to load up into your charts. Easy, easy. You're very welcome. Again, that's mt4professional.com/trial. Get started today. 14-day free trial, $97 a month after the first 2 weeks. And you can contact us anytime at support@mt4professional.com. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I hope to see you in the Skype chat room, even as a trial member. Take care and bye for now.